Well, here we are for another physics demonstration. I have lost my two lab assistants to Netflix, so it's just going to be me this afternoon. So far what we've done is we've talked about the electroscope. We followed that up talking about the electrophorus, which was our little pi tin demonstration of charging by induction. In both of these, we were using our styrofoam fur combination to give us a charged up insulator. So today we're going to do another demonstration, something similar to our electrophorus. And so this is going to be our new device. So let's take a look at what we have this time around. We still have our pi tin as we had before. It's still a conductor. I'm still a conductor, so I still need to have my styrofoam cup as my handle. But what we've added this time is we have added this straw, which is an insulator, this thread, which is an insulator, and then on the very end, what I have is a teeny tiny little straw that I have covered in foil. Now, the pi tin is going to be involved. The straw piece is going to be involved. Everything else is just an insulator holding it where it needs to be. So when I reference the pi tin, I'm obviously talking about the pi tin. If I'm talking about the straw, I'm talking about the little straw that's covered up in foil. Since it's covered up in aluminum foil, it is a conductor, a tiny little conductor, but it is a conductor because of that aluminum metallic material. So now what we're going to do is take our styrofoam, charge it up with fur, so as we repeat again and again and again to make sure we understand what's going on, our styrofoam is taking the electrons away from the fur is positive, the styrofoam is negative, together the combination is neutral, we get a very strong force of attraction so that we know that we have transferred our charges. So we now have our styrofoam plate that is now negatively charged. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little device right here, our apparatus, and what we're going to do is set it on top of our styrofoam and see where that takes us. So the first thing we notice immediately upon setting it down is that this straw was attracted to the rim of the pi tin. It got pulled in and then it made contact and then it shot away. You can replay the video if you need to see that. And it shot away. So this thing has been repelled away from the rim of the pi tin. If I bring my finger in, I can see I definitely have a force of attraction between that piece of straw and my finger. I'm not letting it touch, but I can see that there is definitely a force of attraction, but it stays repelled away from the rim of the pi tin. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach my finger in close enough so that there's actual contact between my finger and the piece of straw. So as I bring my finger in, it jumps around, whoa, all over the place here. And what's happening is you can see that it's rattling back and forth between my finger and the pi tin. So it touches the pi tin, shoots to my finger. Touches my finger, shoots to the pi tin. And it keeps on rattling back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And we can see it slowing down. And eventually we get to the point where the motion is kind of done. Bring my finger back in, and it doesn't really start up again, so we're tapped out. Whatever's happened, it's done. And the question is, what's happened? What have we seen here? What is it that caused this thing, this piece of straw, to jump back and forth through my finger? Why was it attracted in the first place? Why was it repelled to my finger in the first place? Why did it rattle back and forth, back and forth? What's happening during that? And obviously whatever's happening is limited because now, we are pretty much out. All right, looks like I get a couple extra bounces there, but for the most part, it looks like we are out. So the question is, what has happened with our straw and the pi tin in the presence of that foil? To maybe help illustrate exactly what was going on here, what we can do is we can pick it up thing is picked back up, it got pulled in again. Now it's repelling again. Bring in my finger again, and there it goes. Once again, rattling back and forth just like our first example. Bounces back and forth and back and forth. It slows down. And then we get to the point where it's kinda done. And what can we do? Well, we can do it all over again. There's our repulsion, and round 2, here we go. So what is it that is happening during all the little steps to get this thing to rattle back and forth and then to stop, to repeat the process once we lift this thing up off of the styrofoam, only to have it start over again. Now, if you think you're seeing some similarities between what we had done with the electrophorus lab in the repeatability, if that's a word, and this, you are not mistaken. So give it some thought about what it is you think is happening as this straw goes through the process again and again and again. What happened when we placed the pie tin on the styrofoam? Why was the straw attracted? Why was it then repelled upon contact? Why did it attract my finger? And what happened as it rattled back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? My suggestion, look at one single touching the finger, in, touching the rim, back out to the finger. Look at just one tiny little cycle and just understand that cycle happens again and again and again. Why does it stop? And why is it then when we pick this up, everything repeats again? So give that some thought, and we'll talk about it at the end of the week. So until then, have a nice week.